Welcome to the sixth lecture of our lecture series on human resource management. In this video, I'm going to discuss about hiring and induction. These are the topics which we'll be discussing in this video. The first one is what is hiring process, then the appointment letter and contract of employment, then what is induction, what is orientation, the importance of induction, and then types of induction process, and finally information provided in an induction. Basically, hiring is the process of appointing or placing the selected candidate to the vacant job position. Here it could be done either by asking such candidate formally to start his employment in the particular job position or by formal assignment of the job to the selected candidate. Now let's look at the hiring process. The first step is the preparation of the appointment letter. Then it has to be notified to the appointed candidate. As the third step, it should be followed up, and as a result of that, the appointment could be either rejected or accepted by the appointed candidate. If it is rejected, another candidate has to be selected from the waiting list, and therefore it will go back to the second step of the process. If it is accepted, the employer and the employee will enter into the contract of employment. Now let's look at what is meant by appointment letter. It is an official document prepared by the employer that is given to a selected candidate who is about to be employed to a job position for which he or she applied. This document contains all the important details, terms and conditions with regard to the employment. I have included some information that can be found in an appointment letter. They are name and the address of the employee and the organization, then the job title, effective date of appointment, that means from which day onwards the appointment is effective, then the type of employment, that means whether the employment is permanent, temporary or fixed term. Let's look at what is meant by contract of employment. This is something different from the appointment letter, as this is a legally binding agreement. So as I have mentioned here, it is a legally binding agreement on the express and implied terms and conditions of employment made between an employer and an employee. It is a more detailed and advanced version of the appointment letter. Then, along with this contract of employment, usually the employer provides the employee handbook, employee code of conduct, and the establishment code to the new employee. What is induction? It is the systematic procedure of introducing or inducting a new employee to the new job, the section or the department to which he is attached, the work environment, relevant work groups to which he belongs, and to the organization as a whole. What is orientation? It is the process of welcoming and helping the new employee to adjust to his or her job position, department, responsibilities, and organizational culture. Therefore, induction is a short-term process, whereas orientation is a long-term process. There are three main contents of orientation. They are socialization, organization, and job. Now let's look at some reasons as to why induction is important. It helps the new employee to get familiar with his job effectively and efficiently, builds up the employee's confidence and prevents cultural shock. It promotes the feeling of belongingness and loyalty, speeds up socialization and creates a friendly work environment for the new employee. It provides a sense of security for the new employee. There are two main types of induction. They are formal induction and informal induction. Under formal induction, a planned attempt is made to introduce new employees to the job, work environment, and the organization. But under informal induction, there is no planned activity. The new employee learns through trial and error method, and they get familiar with the work and work environment by themselves. This second method, informal induction, causes more stress to the new employees. Now let's look at the induction process. There are three main stages involved in this process. The first one is preparation, then the conducting stage, and finally the evaluating stage. Under the preparation stage, we have to consider certain things. The first one is information that has to be provided. Who should give that information? For this purpose, authorized resource persons or HR manager or any other relevant member in the HR department can give information. And with regard to how information should be given, booklets, documents like JD and JS, discussions, presentations, employee handbooks can be used. Then what is the time duration for the induction program and where the information should be given. Under the conducting stage, program checklist has to be prepared and it has to be conducted accordingly. And under the evaluation stage, participants' response, feedback, and debriefing can be considered. There are certain important information that has to be provided in an induction. They are nature of the organization. That means the background of the organization, the vision, mission, goals and values of the organization. Then the job and job environment. That means the job title, job location, duties and responsibilities, job tasks and working conditions likewise. Then personnel policies, procedures and rules means the organization's grievance handling procedures, health and safety procedures likewise. And lastly, rewards. That means wages, salaries, incentives, bonuses likewise. So with that we come to the end of our lecture on induction and hiring.